So what's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. And this is where we at now. So you clearly see the title of the broadcast. So apparently here, uh, Mike Epps sat down with Jim Jones on Jim Jones's podcast. You know what I'm saying? I haven't watched much of it. Didn't even know Jim Jones really had a YouTube channel like that. But I'm gonna check it out, see what's going on. I ain't got no problem. I like Jim Jones. But hell yeah, though. So he said that you shouldn't celebrate prisoners coming home after 30 years. And, I got a few people going to have a few takes on it and stuff like that. It's kind of wild, but, let's see what Mike had to say. And he also, came on, tried to apologize for what he said technically, which is, just is what it is here, people. So we're going to dive off into this and see what he has to say. Quarters, nickels, and dimes.
Those are the wrong journeys to celebrate, young men. There's no reward for coming home after 30 years. You don't get no fucking care package. You are a failure. Get your ass out here and help these kids. Pay that back forward. You see what I'm saying? That's the reward. I got niggas all the time come straight home. If I don't do what they want me to do for them, I'm a sellout. I'm a suck ass.
Right.
I done did the whole bit with them. I done been to Walmart 100 times, Jay paying and meeting guards, doing all kind of shit I ain't supposed to be doing, fucking with you. But
as soon as you say no one time,
they done forgot about the other 99 times you said yes. Those are the wrong journeys to celebrate, young men.
And I definitely, agree with where he coming from with that. Mike Epps, obviously he has friends or partners or whatever that have been incarcerated, stuff like that. Say he went the mile with these people. They came home and then act like, nobody ever did anything for them. So I get it. At the same time, though, too, I think Mike Epps got a little gripe with this situation. And, righteously so, seems like, if he didn't had this dude's back for however many years, and dude come home and, Mike may not have been able to do something at one point, or it may have been bad timing, stuff like that. And dude try to act the ass or get sideways with him after all that help he did all these years. Yeah, that's highly disrespectful. That's highly disrespectful to me. So we're going to go here now. And we're going to check some more stuff out. This is Mike Epps, quote unquote, apology, or however you want to put this shit. This is crazy right here. So let's go here now.
What's up, y'all? It's your man, Mike Epps, man. I just want to get on here and clarify and clear a few things up. Number one, about the brothers coming home from prison being celebrated. I've always been a part of reform. I got brothers right now from my hometown that I'm trying to help come home. They've been in prison forever. I think you guys might have misunderstood what I was saying. I might have said it the wrong way, but what I was trying to say is we don't want to send kids mixed messages about coming home from prison, being celebrated, feeling like you got to go to prison and do 30, 40 years to be celebrated. I think you guys misunderstood that, misunderstood what I said. Wasn't saying that it was wrong to be celebrated, but we don't want to send a message to the kids saying prison is great, that you want to go home, go do 30 years and come home. I don't think that's cool. So I'm sorry if anybody took it the wrong way and got offended. I love my brothers. I've been incarcerated myself. I understand what that is, but I might have said it the wrong way, but I mean well. And I love you, brothers. Free my brothers that's coming home. My man Derek, free all the guys that's coming home, man. And about the food stamp thing. The food stamp thing was misunderstood too. What I was saying is that we need to break the cycle of being on food stamps. There's 3 generations of people that have been on food stamps. Of grandmother, mother, and daughter. That's crazy. We gotta do better. We can't think that we need assistance. I know there's some people out there that need assistance. That's well, fine, and understood. But there's people out there taking advantage of the system that's not good. So just want to apologize if I offended anybody. I love y'all, man, and keep on doing the right thing. Peace.
So, this is where we get here. In my mind, I don't think he should apologize for anything. He said what he said and stuff like that. I get it. He a public figure, and he need to, kind of clarify things. But to a degree, he definitely was right. We can't send the message to children that, what I'm saying, people come home after doing a bid like that, or even doing any super bid, period. And I mean, just as a culture, we shouldn't celebrate going to jail, prison, or none of that shit. And I don't get it. I don't understand it. What I'm saying? I know our culture's in a huge predicament here as Black people, due to our music, a lot of things we've been celebrating throughout the decades, criminal activity, all types of stuff. Listen, look, man, I grew up listening to, what I'm saying, Eazy, all NWA, all of them, what I'm saying? I still jam them to this day. But as a grown man now, I know that it is a difference. And we shouldn't promote, doing those things where back in the day, they was actually trying to explain how the hood was and what was going on to try to make it out. Nowadays, these kids are just, they cool with actually going. And, it's a whole different thought process. But no, though, we shouldn't celebrate, people, coming home from prison and stuff like that. And I'm not saying don't treat people that come home from prison, with respect, excuse me, because if they're your loved ones, they're your loved ones, and you're going to do something for them when they get home and stuff like that. I get it, to help them get back on their feet, but we don't need to teach the children that, this is the way to go. So, all right, we're going to keep going here, and it's always more. Let's go here now.
The backlash that Mike Epps is getting from saying that people who go to jail or prison for 30, 20 years, when they come out, they should not be getting welcome home parties. This is not a celebration. You don't deserve to be celebrated. Celebrate a job. That's basically what he said. Of course, once he started getting all this backlash, he came back and apologized and was like, what I'm really trying to say is, you can't glorify all this prison time to these kids. The kids seeing you come home getting this big party, everybody celebrating you like you just did this great grand thing, this big accomplishment. When in reality, who been taking care of your kids while you been in prison for 30-some odd years? That's an extra job your mama or your baby mama got to get. Baby mama got to find some man to help, raise the kids. Otherwise, they're going to be burdening, family members. Somebody got.
Oh, hold on. Did she say it? She said it. Hold on. She said it. Hold on.
Praying you like you just did this great grand thing, this big accomplishment. When in reality, who been taking care of your kids while you been in prison for 30-some odd years? That's an extra job your mama or your baby mama got to get. Baby mama got to find some man to help, raise the kids.
Find some man to help. Hey, y'all heard her say that. Fellas, listen, look, man. Wow. Ain't this what we be talking about over here on the internet, throughout the TikTok, all YouTube, everything? I know some of y'all out there, the Manosphere, Red Pill, all, whatever. I'm just saying, listen, look here, bro. She said it. She said it. While dude locked up, she got to try to find some other man to help her take care of the kids, because 9 times out of 10, maybe some family members not going to help. Maybe his side of the family not going to help. So she got to find some dude somewhere. This is wild out here, people. She said it. Hey, put it down in the facts. She said it, baby. She said she gonna find some man to use to take care of them kids.
Otherwise, they're gonna be burdening, family members. Somebody got to pick the kids up from schools. Baby mama got to work. Somebody got to, what I mean? No protector in the household while you sitting in somebody's prison for 30-some odd years. Somebody that can't go to college because people got to put money on your books for 30-some odd years. Not to mention the family members that did go to college, they can't even get $100 for a textbook. But every week, every month, somebody got to send you $30, $40, $50 so you can get you some chips and tortillas and beans and rice. Here's the clip of what Mike Epps actually said, and then I want you to get in the comments and let me know. What's your thoughts on this?
Those are the wrong journeys to celebrate, young men. There's no reward for coming home after 30 years. You don't get no fucking care package, nigga. You are a failure. Get your ass out here and help these kids, nigga. Pay that back forward. You see what I'm saying? That's the reward. I got niggas all the time come straight home. If I don't do what they want me to do for them, I'm a sellout. I'm a sucker ass nigga.
Right?
I done did the whole bit with them. I done been to Walmart 100 times, Jay paying and meeting guards, doing all kind of shit I ain't supposed to be doing, fucking with you, nigga.
Is Mike Epps right for what he's saying? Did he say it wrong? Is he wrong for what he said? In the comments, let me know what you're thinking.
Listen, look, like I said previously, I don't think Mike was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he shouldn't have, you know, I get it, the PR, you know, he an entertainer, things like that. But this is what we call free speech. This is what we call free speech, people. And I know today's society, we're sensitive as fuck out here. You know, we're all crying in our cribs, and every time somebody say something that we don't like, and it's just, you know, we're like tucked in like newborns, and oh yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. You know, stop doing dumb shit, and you won't get people talking to you crazy. And at the same time, though, too, for people that can't handle the truth, that sounds like a personal problem. Maybe you need to grow up. You know, I'm all for freedom of speech. Whether, you know what I'm saying, you like, you know, I heard something recently here. You know, I was watching a podcast called Ask a Brother, and you know, on YouTube and stuff, and he was interviewing Obsidian Ali. And you know, I've been following him for years as well. And Obsidian said that freedom of speech basically is for the speech that we don't like to hear. And I definitely get that, because, you know what I'm saying, we do need both sides. We need the side that's righteous, and we need the chin checking side as human beings. We need both in order to keep humanity in line and be able to, you know, actually tell each other the truth out here. So yeah, man, it's crazy, but it's true. So let's go here now. And obviously Blueface, of all people, has something to say about this situation. Let's go here now.
We shouldn't celebrate somebody who's on stage telling jokes. They should go to school. They should go to school and go to college and be bigger and better. We shouldn't celebrate nobody on stage telling jokes. That's clown shit, no? I could be misconstrued as well, you know, so I think you went left, you know, people's lifestyles. You know, you can't really speak on people's lifestyles, man. Anybody coming home and did things the right way and kept it solid should definitely be celebrated. If you can get on stage and tell jokes, no one man has enough power to speak on other lifestyles, you know. However people living, if they keeping it solid to that, I think Mike Epps, I think you should just stand in your place, brother.
Wasn't saying that it was wrong to be celebrated, but we don't want to send a message.
You know, and we heard what Mike had to say already. Listen, look, man, this Blueface guy, he's already had a shitstorm of turmoil dealing with Krishan and all the stuff that even his own mother is a bat. It's crazy out here, and he's sitting around here where, you know, saying people shouldn't be speaking on this and speaking on that. That's been our whole issue in society here. Definitely within the past, since the turn of the millennium. Everybody wants to sit around here and think that people shouldn't speak on other people's lives and stuff like that. What people do in your surroundings, even local or not local, it does affect you as a human being. It's just like how you vote. All types of stuff go on and things like that. It affects you too. And the way, if we don't check people in their thought process, and definitely on situations like this is crazy. We can't sit around here and allow celebrations to go on of people celebrating people coming home from prison. This makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? And we look at the children, stuff like this. So when they go out and bust old people upside the head and steal purses and wallets, or just do treacherous stuff like we see in the news all the time now, low key, you know what I'm saying? Now it's an issue. Where's the parents? Where's this going on? Why ain't the dad in the home? What's happening here? These children are going to prison. What's going on? And, you know, like, it just is what it is, people. It is what it is out here, man. And this is sad that we're at this point, but it's also the truth. And it's making a huge issue out here. So we're going to go here now. We're going to check out, see what this lady had to say about the situation as well. Quarters, nickels, and dimes.
I actually disagree with Mike Epps. Someone coming home from prison, especially depending on how long, listen, they already know they effed up. They already know they have to start from below scratch.
Do they really though? Do they really though?
I can see why a family says, you know what? We welcome you home. We're glad you made it home. Hello. And we're turning over a new leaf. Taking them out to lunch or dinner, more than enough. You know what I'm saying? Just to welcome them home.
That ain't what Mike was talking about. That's not what Mike was talking about, taking them out to lunch or dinner, stuff like that, feeding them some, you know, some actual free world food. That's not what Mike was talking about. He talking about these people throwing these people like super bashes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like how you would celebrate birthday parties or some wedding event or something like that. Like, that's what Mike was talking about. Taking, when your loved one get out of prison, male, female, it don't matter. Then you take them out to eat to get them a good meal that they probably hadn't had in a long time, something like that. That's not what he's talking about. Of course, you know, say I get it. Of course, you know, if I had a loved one in prison for that amount of time and stuff like that, and I've been helping them out throughout the years, yeah, you know, saying we gonna go out to eat. You know, when you get home, you know what I'm saying? I know you need good clothes, stuff like that. If I, you know, if I got it, I'm gonna break bread. But you know what I'm saying? He talking about throwing a party and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a true celebration, you know, like you accomplished something serious in life. That's what Mike was talking about. Not just going out to eat. That she wide open here.
Yes, the volume should be turned up for the college graduations, the military retirements, the regular retirements, the weddings, and not just the baby showers. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the volume of those two celebrations. Just because you didn't get a graduation party doesn't mean that a family shouldn't acknowledge how this person came back. They're a whole nother person. We could tell they changed. And as a family, we're moving on. No, I do not have anyone in my family who's been in prison. No, I'm not saying it needs to be extravagant. I'm not saying it has to be either or. Like, we can celebrate each accordingly, you know, and appropriately.
And you know what I'm saying? I get where she coming from here. Definitely at the last little tidbits of what she said and things like that. But, you know, I'm definitely believe that Mike shouldn't have came on with this apology situation, you know, but, you know, people should just understand what he really was meaning. You know, he also told you at the beginning of the situation that he had a homeboy that he was taking care of in prison the whole time. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he was just, you know, talking out the side of his neck out here about the situation. He actually has, you know, family, friend, whatever, you know, that was locked up. So, I mean, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, I don't think he should have, you know what I'm saying, had came back out. I don't think he should have to come back out with that response and stuff like that to try to clarify things and all this type of stuff. People just supposed to know better. And that's been our issue on this planet right now. Definitely in this country here. People don't know better anymore. They don't just be logical about the situation. Nah, well, of course that's not what he meant. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we shouldn't be out here celebrating prison like it's a great thing and letting our children see this asinine ass way of, you know, celebrating somebody. It's wild out here, people. It's wild. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.